Good morning, everyone. This month, it's February, so what are we going to talk about all month? We're going to talk about love. But it's not the sappy, let me buy you a card love. It's not the, okay, let's spend some more money on flowers than we normally do kind of love. It's not even the give me chocolate kind of love. However, chocolate is always a good thing, right? No, it's not that kind of love at all. It's God's love. It is that love that is the universe. It's the world. It's who and what we are. It is that kind of internal, unconditional God stuff love that we're talking about. You know, there's that saying, hope springs eternal. Well, love is eternal. It goes beyond the beating of our heart. It goes beyond our breath. It is the essence of everything and everyone. So we're going to start off with light and laughter. Because here's the thing, humor and lightness. Humor and lightness, those are the gifts of God's love. Those are the gifts that have been granted to us, that we get to fully express, and we get to share. So when there's life challenges, that's what allows us to give it a light touch. And there is so much more to life when we're living from that place of love. That place of love. So, let me share with you a story. There are three sisters, very close to each other. They lived together 96, 94, 92. So the 96-year-old goes upstairs, she runs a bath, she puts a foot in the bathtub, and she's like, yells downstairs, sisters, was I going in the bathtub or was I coming out of the bathtub? The 94-year-old says, I'll be right up. She gets halfway up the stairs and is like, was I going up or was I going down? The 92-year-old is like, I am so glad I am not forgetful. I've got all my wits around me. Thank you, God. She knocks on wood and says, okay, sisters, I'm coming up, but let me answer the door first. Minnie Pearl, who most of us probably don't remember, she had this straw hat with like a price tag in, right? So she was known as the first lady of country comedy. She died at the age of 83. And she was known to say, laughter is God's hand on the shoulders of a troubled world. Isn't that beautiful? She also said that no male pallbearers were going to be allowed at her funeral. They wouldn't take me out when I was alive, and I won't let them take me out when I'm dead. All right, I invite us all to take a breath. Just like, does it feel more expansive in this room, right? I mean, there's this level of lightness amongst all of us. It feels good to smile, it feels good to laugh. In fact, there's a minister in Southern California who's retired now, but she had a laughing ministry. And I was going to start it this morning that way, but decided we're not so good at participation in Minnesota. But she would literally walk into a room, right? She got paid for this. She would walk into a room and she would start to laugh. And before long, people would start to laugh with her. And it got louder and louder and deeper. And she would just go high five everybody, and you would laugh for like 20 minutes. And then she would say thank you, and she would leave. Don't you love it? Yeah, what a great gig. But what a big difference she made in people's lives. Because just to laugh for no reason, to smile just because you can, all of those things allows our hearts to open, allows us to become more optimistic and more expansive, allows us to rise above whatever else is going on. Leonard Cohen writes, "Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your imperfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That is how the light gets in." I would like to add, that's also how the light gets out. That's how our magnificence shines. Not in our perfect offering. It doesn't shine when everything's just all hunky-dory, right? It shines all the time. We just need to let it out. And we need to let other folks' light in to sort of renew ours, to re-up the game, so to speak. Light always trumps darkness. You can carry a candle into a dark room, but you can't take darkness anywhere. You just can't. And we talk about that here on Sundays, right? Joan led us in the lighting the flames of faith, and the end is lighting that flame within, remembering there's that eternal flame within. It is always burning. Always. It's the same idea of taking a candle into a dark room is taking God's love with us wherever we go. Taking that candle within and allowing it to shine bright. And when it's not shining bright, when you need an extra boost, calling a prayer partner, calling a licensed practitioner, picking up something that you can read that will remind you of who and whose you are. That beautiful expression. Ernest Holmes, our founder, writes, "This light is never obliterated, but it seems often it's obscured by various reasons." Various reasons. Well, it can never go out. But it does get dim sometimes, right? But to bring it back to life, we just need to be willing. Willing to sit and give thanks. Willing to take that conscious breath. Willing to allow ourselves to see the magnificence that's all around us. And just to be still and know that it's all good all of the time, despite appearances. To move to that place of hopefulness just by seeing all of the love around us, even if we can't feel it within. It's all about making space for spirit to come in and do that heavy lifting instead of slogging through it on our own. One thought of God's love can take a circumstance that we're troubled by and allow us to let it go, just for a moment. One thought of God's love can bring lightness to troubled cells in our body and allow them to come back and find their perfect order. One thought of God's love can change our energy vibration, and it can move us up. It doesn't have to go from 0 to 50, right? But going from like 0 to 5 sometimes is all we need to remember who we are. As Jesus, the Master Teacher, says, we are the light of the world. Do you believe that? Sometimes I really believe it. Most of the time, I really believe it. All of the time, I believe it about everybody else. All of the time. But sometimes, not only do I not believe I'm the light of the world, but that I'm even the light of my own life. Have you ever been there? You know, at that place where it's like, oh my God, don't tell me I have to do it yet again. But the truth is that no matter what is going on, that light is still there. And we still have the ability to smile. We still have the opportunity to find a reason to laugh. because there is always a crack. Always. It is just about finding the crack, or even just letting it be seen. It's about moving beyond the problem, beyond the fear, because for me, when that light is dim, it's usually because I'm afraid of something. And usually that something never happens if I get smart and look back on the last time I was fearful, and it never showed up either, right? But it's about being willing to do the inner work to remember that this too shall pass, just as it has in the past, and there is nothing to fear. Steve Chandler wrote a book, Fearless, which is wonderful, and he suggests that a problem is actually a fascinating aspect of life. He writes, when taken on, they are life-challenging gifts. Once we can do the mind shift necessary to see them for what they are, all problems become advanced seminars in what I now need to learn to advance on this spiritual journey up the ladder of consciousness to some real fun and good mischief and a condition we've all heard described as fearless. Problems. If we start to approach them as life-challenging gifts, we take away some of their power, right? We just take the power away. And I love that idea. It includes shifting one's mind from the problem to the possibility, from being paranoid, that paranoid fear mode, to that what is possible mode. It's about allowing us to step into God's love and rise above, because a problem can't be solved at the level of the problem. You just can't see the solution at that same place. It's about remembering that we were born ready for anything and everything that is thrown at us. We were born ready. We were born with all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge and all of the talent and all of the skills that we need to do exactly what it is our heart wants to do. I love that idea of being born ready. Chandler also says, thoughts create fear. Thoughts create feelings. Most people don't experience it in that way. Most people experience feelings being created by external events and other people. The future is hiding under the bed. So whenever I have a fear underneath something, I want to write the thought down behind the fear. I want to challenge the thought and challenge it as if I were an attorney in a very important case, challenging a witness, because that thought is going to turn out to be not true. Try it. Love that idea. Isn't that a great idea? Like, to analyze the thought, not the feeling, but the thought. To recognize that thoughts do create fear. Now, they don't come jumping out from underneath the bed. They gradually, I believe, start to build. And then they just get out of control. Because our little ego mind just sort of loves that idea, right? Of out of control. Some fear is good. You know, a lion chasing you down. Probably fear is a good idea, right? But just because it's a problem, or it's a person you've had an issue with in the past, or it's someone telling you you're not good enough, you're a failure in their own ways. Those kinds of things build up this fear within you that I'm not enough, I'll never be enough. And that is so not true. Because why? We were born ready. That's it. We were just born ready. So to those of us who think you need to feel the fear and do it anyway, I say no. Take that fear, figure out the thought, the false belief, the inaccurate notion that is driving that fear, and interrogate it. Like, investigate it, question it over and over and over until it's lost all of its power. And then you don't have to feel that fear ever again. You can just do it. Just do it. A problem or a fear, when we start to argue against it, we allow our optimism to take hold. When we're optimistic and we're asking the open why questions, right? We're being very expansive. Versus that little pessimistic fear that is constrictive, right? It holds us back. Optimistically ask the questions because you will get answers. It may not come in words, it may come in a feeling, right? It may come in a song. It may just disappear. Ours is not to question it. Ours is just to say this, why? Why does this make me fearful? Why is this problem a problem that I don't think I can handle? Ernest Holmes. There is a light that permeates the world, but we have not sensed it. We need, in the silence of our own contemplation, to take time to feel that light and to see it. We have to hitch our earthly wagon to a spiritual star, because if we do not, we are going to hitch it to a make-believe life, something that has no light at all. The only light there is the light of the eternal. Each of us should seek that beam of light within, follow it to the great light, the light that is everything. The light that is everything. That light is within each and every one of us. And when we let it shine, even though we don't want to let it shine, if we just say, shine it will, we make such an impact, not only on our lives, but on everyone else's. It's truly, between that and smiling, and then let's throw in a little gratitude, and before long, the wings of grace are carrying us along. And we realize we're not doing anything alone. We're doing everything in divine partnership, and that we are fully supported, and that we are ready. Born ready. So this week, I invite you to join me in making sure you've got something positive on your nightstand or on your coffee table, ready to be picked up at a moment's notice whenever that little bitty hint of fear shows up, that beginning of something that you think could possibly be a problem. Yeah, just read something funny. Right? Just read something funny. Play Fancy Ray's album. Think of something, right? Let's do something funny. Because that's how we get to shine that light. And we get to take it to other people. That's what I love about this idea of the compassionate care team. You know, if there's something going on, someone you know that needs a little extra boost, right? Let us know. Fill out a prayer request. Say, send this to the compassionate care team and have somebody call me or call them. If you're feeling really down, write a thank you note to someone. You know, the Postal Service still works, right? There are so many ways that we can turn stuff around, and by turning it around, we're letting our light shine in so many new ways to so many new people. And isn't that what we're here for? That idea of love, that eternal goodness of spirit, just saying, yes, my beloved. Yes, my beloved. Go forth in laughter and light. And so it is. Namaste.